In this video, we're going to answer what I think is a pretty common question about Huperzine A, the very strong acetylcholinesterase inhibitor, and what you can stack it with, how you should approach it, and what my position on it is. Coming up. Okay, Product Pro, minute and a half of Product Pro. Just look, fast forward a minute and a half past this video if you don't want to hear us talk about powerful nootropic products for a minute and a half. We've got 5 of them, okay? Fast forward now if you don't want to listen to it, otherwise stick around. Number 1, the Cortex stack. This is our powerful pre-made stack. It is the stack that if you really want to see what it's like to fire on all cylinders, you got to get the Cortex stack. Buy the Cortex stack at livecortex.com. We target acetylcholine, dopamine receptors, neurite outgrowth, and phosphatidylcholine. It is a mental energy, stimulation, verbal fluency, drive you to action, motivation type of nootropic stack. It's a stack that I was taking to run a company 18 hours a day. Here's the thing though, normally it's $34.99. Right now, this weekend, it's $29.99. And if you use the coupon code 5, takes it down to $24.99, right? Can't get better than that. Buy it at livecortex.com. Link is in the description below. We wrote 3 digital guides. They teach you how to use nootropics, but mostly they are written with powerful nootropic stacks. Like if you wanted one place to find expert, advanced, high-level nootropic stacks you won't find on the web, they're in all these guides. So we've got Smarter, Better, Faster. That's for people that are new to nootropics. We've got the New Pep Pro Stack List. That's a highly advanced guide that gives you highly advanced New Pep stacks. And then we've got the Racetam God Guide, highly advanced, Racetam nootropic stacks. Lastly, we do nootropics consulting. It's a 40-minute call with me, 15 additional email correspondences to help you do whatever you want. Formulate a stack, shave some stuff off your stack, find the best compounds that work for you. Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. Okay, so let's talk about Huperzine A. Huperzine A is like extracted from this moss in China. It is, one of the things that it's an alkaloid. One of the things that I guess the medical industry or somebody figured out is that if you administered it in very particular doses, it would inhibit an enzyme that breaks down a focused neurotransmitter and recycles it in your brain. The enzyme is called acetylcholinesterase, and the neurotransmitter is called acetylcholine. Well, what generally happens when the brain has more usable acetylcholine is folks can focus better, folks tend to be more verbally fluent, folks' brains tend to be more fluid, and their brains tend to be faster. Acetylcholine is an excitatory neurotransmitter, meaning it is not a neurotransmitter that sort of calms things down. It is a neurotransmitter that speeds things up and makes things work better. Okay, so a lot of nootropic compounds target acetylcholine, whether like increasing its receptors, increasing the quantity of it, increasing the way that it functions, increasing the way that neurons uptake choline for the synthesis of it, like in the case of coloracetam, one of the racetam nootropic compounds. And so, it's a target for most nootropics, lots of nootropics. What Huperzine A is, though, is it basically goes down and inhibits this enzyme, which goes down and breaks down acetylcholine and stores it, recycles it for you. So what that ends up doing is just creating more usable acetylcholine for someone's brain to use. And that does end up, and for most folks, resulting in pretty good brain performance. So that's Huperzine A. The dose range on Huperzine A is 40 micrograms on the low end to 200 micrograms on the high end. That's the regular standalone dose range for Huperzine A. Micrograms are a very, very small quantity. You wouldn't want to take Huperzine A in any milligram quantity. It is that strong. It's like PRL 853, but stronger in terms of like the concentration of it, etc. So you really want to be careful. You want to have a milligram scale, or you want to buy a pre-made Huperzine A bottle that has the capsules or small little tablets of Huperzine A that are within that dose range, 40 to 200 micrograms. Okay, not milligrams. So people take it, get more focused, etc., and that's interesting. But the question people often ask is, well, can I stack this with other cholinergic compounds? And the answer is yes, you can. But there's a couple caveats, and there's a couple ways you can approach this surgically to get the best effects, and that's what this video is about. Number 1, you can stack it with alpha GPC, CDP choline, centrophenoxine, DMAE, and choline bitartrate. These are other things that are going to essentially work at increasing acetylcholine concentrations and functionality. Not quite in the same way that Huperzine A does, but it's still going to contribute to the same outcome. But what you should do in this regard, because Huperzine A is so strong, is you must, I'm telling you, you must dose on the very low end of Huperzine A if you're going to stack it with these other cholinergics. And you should take the other cholinergic compounds in medium doses. So you stack the Huperzine A in very low doses and the other cholinergics in medium doses. So if you're going to stack it with alpha GPC as a good example, you probably want to shoot for 40 to 60 micrograms of Huperzine A, that's a lower dose of Huperzine A, and 75 to 150 milligrams of alpha GPC. I would say same exact strategy with CDP choline. The strategy with DMAE would be, it's really hard, 50 to 200 milligrams of DMAE, and then 40 to 60 micrograms of Huperzine A. And then with Centrophenoxine, you're really looking at 75 to 150 milligrams of Centrophenoxine with, again, 40 to 60 micrograms of Huperzine A, okay? So that's my take on it. And the reason I think you should be conservative is because I've been doing this for 9 years. I know that too much of those combined really gives me side effects and most other people side effects. Because once you cross a certain threshold of having too much acetylcholine, it's side effects, just like it is with caffeine or alcohol or eating string beans, like whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, right? And so I've run into this too much, but inhibiting acetylcholine esterase, which is the enzyme that breaks down acetylcholine, and thus just allowing acetylcholine, therefore, to just sort of non-judiciously accumulate in the brain, is good to a point in terms of focus and mental functionality, but that is more likely to take you over the threshold of cholinergic functioning within your brain, acetylcholine signaling, which is going to lead to side effects for a lot of folks, okay? So that's why you want to approach this conservatively. I've seen this over and over and over again. Folks think, I can just stack Huperzine A with regular dose of cholinergics, and it ends up being a problem for them because they end up with too much acetylcholine in their brains, okay? We'll talk about racetams, Noopept, and other things in conjunction with Huperzine A because you can stack them. Same approach, basically, be very, very conservative. We'll talk about that in a different video, but I just wanted to cover GPC, CDP, DMAE, and Centrophenoxine as it relates to Huperzine A. And those are my suggestions. Thanks for watching.
What is up, everybody? Ryan Michael Bauer here. Hey, thanks a lot for listening to the video. Thanks a lot for being here. But check this out. If you want to take your nootropics game to a different level, to the pro level, we've got 4 major products for you. Number 1, the Noopept Pro Stack List. I think of all of these, it's the Noopept Pro Stack List and the Racetam God Guide, which we're going to get to in just a second, and we explained in the video, that are the most advanced guides out of our guides. The Noopept Pro Stack List is a digital guide that explains a bunch of powerful sublingual, oral, and nasal Noopept stacks. It also has 20 bonus Racetam stacks. The gist of it is, look, it took me a long time, 4 years of concentrated experience trying to find the best Noopept stacks, putting them in a digital guide. It's like folks try for a while to find a good Noopept stack. They're like, you're weighing stuff out, they're adding different ingredients in, they can't quite get it right. I figured them all out. I figured the God stacks of Noopept, and I put them in the Noopept Pro Stack List. Get that at livecortex.com. It's digital. Then the Smarter, Better, Faster guide, as you see right in front of you here, that is a guide for new folks. If you're new to nootropics, look, any of these guides will suit you, but if you're new to nootropics, this teaches you everything. Choline sources, racetams, stacking racetams, phenibut, research chemicals, modafinil, everything in between. Smarter, Better, Faster is a very powerful, information-dense, it's also a lot of stacks in there, digital guide you can download for anything you have. Then the Racetam God Guide. This is a little on the advanced level, but still, anyone could take it and get the stacks from it, and then can go implement those stacks, make those stacks, capsule the stuff, the ingredients that we've got laid out in the stacks, and then get a benefit from it. It's got 80 plus pro, highly advanced, super effective Racetam stacks. We got aniracetam, piracetam, oxiracetam, phenylpiracetam, nephiracetam, coliracetam, fasoracetam, all the major 8 nootropic racetams in that guide. And then the Cortex stack. The Cortex stack is really like, look, if you're really looking to take your nootropics game to another level, I created that stack to give people an idea of what nootropics really should be. The pre-made stacks that were out there were not that effective. They just weren't. The companies and the folks that own those companies, I'm sure, are great. They just weren't that effective. So I created a stack that was like blowing my mind and allowing my brain to really function well during an 18-hour period building a business. I then converted that to a commercial stack. It is called Cortex. It is strong, okay? Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. That is what you got to do if you really want to take your nootropics game to the next level. Get these guides. Get all these guides. If you're new, get the Smarter, Better, Faster guide. If you want a Noopept stack list that's highly advanced and surgical, get the Noopept Pro stack list. If you want some Racetam stacks that are extremely effective, situationally specific, get the Racetam God Guide. And listen, thanks so much for being with me. Go to livecortex.com and get these products. And my friends, be epic and achieve more.